Hey everyone, this is Kane here. So we are going to look at Jamil Dune's hole 3 par 5 albatross approach. I'm going to share 6 type of shots with you with different wind angles and different strength of winds. Here we have a tail crosswind 6.7. So I adjust my spin accordingly. First try I try to go for 5 bars and then I settle for 4 bars at the end. 4 or 4.5, somewhere near that, and 2 bars of right side spin, and then I adjust for maximum distance with 10% over adjustment here. In case of 6.7, it was approximately 3.5 rings. We take our shot, a slight curl to the right.
Perfect shot.
With a nice perfect shot, you will see we will take a nice bounce over the rough, and our aim is to reach a distance of in between 345 to 350 yards. 346, good enough for us. Now following up on our drive of 346 yards, here I go for a rough bump. We have a strong cross headwind of 13. I go with full left spin and 3 bars of top spin, and in a headwind you want to make sure that your ball guide line goes through the hole. I put my guide line through the hole, check for the funnel there, and I adjust for minimum distance minus 10%. In case of 13, it was 9 rings. I make my adjustment here for 9 rings. And now it's our time to take our shot. We hit a perfect shot here. Make a nice rough bump, and you will see we go a little too hard, but since it was in line, it was good enough. We hit the pin hard for a nice albatross. Now let's have a look at my second game. Here for the drive we have a strong tailwind of 12.7. I tried to take complete advantage of it. I went with full top spin and max left spin, trying to avoid the bunker on the right. And now you will see I push my target to max possible, and I go with a slight overpower and some left curl to compensate for the right push we have from the wind. We nicely cross the rough, and then we are clear of the bunker, and we make a great distance of 425 yards. Now for the second shot, following up with the drive of 425 yards, nice drive we had. We have a grizzly here. I check for the minimum at the medium distance of my club, and I play this one maximum distance with 10% over adjustment, so max plus 10%. For 13 wind, in case of a grizzly level 8, it was about, I would say, 15 rings. Now you will see I make the adjustment for 15 rings here. We made our adjustment nice, ball guide line towards the hole, and last thing is to hit a perfect shot. We hit a perfect shot. See, we'll make a nice camera angle and straight towards the pin for a nice albatross. Now it's time for game number 3. Here also we have a nice tailwind, but not as strong as in our second game. Here it is 7.4, but I still go the same route I went in the second game. I use full top spin and max left spin. I try to push my target to max, and then I adjust for maximum distance with 10% over adjustment. I do not push my target to max here, a little curl to the right. We hit a nice perfect shot. You'll see we'll cross nicely over the rough region there, and we make a good distance here as well, 353 yards. For our second shot, here we have a tail crosswind 8.1. I again choose to go with the rough bump approach, max left spin and 3 bars of top spin. Again, the important thing is here that you check for the funnel there and your ball guideline should be straight towards the pin. If it's a little off, left or right, the albatross is gone and you will have to settle for an eagle. So I check for my funnel there, and finally I get my spot. Yeah, we have our spot on the right side of the cup. And for 8.1 I adjust for minimum distance minus 10%, so that would be approximately 5.5 rings. The last thing we want is to hit a perfect shot. We hit a perfect shot here, make a nice rough bump, and you'll see the ball rolling slowly towards the cup for a sweet albatross on the right side, the place where we aimed. Now it's time to check out game number 4. Here we have a difficult to drive. We have 11.1 crosswind, so I straight away went for full topspin, irrespective of having the risk to go into the bunker. Full topspin and right spin. I adjust for max plus 10%, and then headwind I use about full overpower, 5 to 6 rings, a little curl to the right.
Great shot!
I feared hitting great right, and which I did, but again it was just good enough to bounce right of the rough and make a good distance, 352 yards. Following up on our drive, here we have a comparatively fair wind, tail crosswind 6.6, and I again go for the rough bump approach here. For the albatross is the safest approach in my opinion. Full left spin, 3 bars of top spin, and you want your ball guideline straight towards the hole. I check for my funnel and put my ball guideline straight towards the hole. I adjust for minimum distance minus 10%. In case of 6.6, it was 4.5 rings. We adjust for 4.5 rings, and it's now our time to take our shot.
Great
Here,
shot.
unfortunately, I hit a great left, but it was good enough, I guess, because we had a nice funnel there. So nice top angle from, and then we had a nice albatross.
Albatross!
It's time for game number 5. Here we have more of a crosswind, but a tiny portion of tailwind as well, 5.9. Since it's not a heavy tailwind, I go for full top spin and max right spin, and I adjust for maximum distance with 10% over adjustment, and then I push my target to max. In case of 5.9, it was 3 rings, max plus 10%. No curl this time.
Perfect shot!
We hit a perfect shot. You'll see we'll make nice bounce over the rough and make a good yardage. 358 yards. Now with a good drive of 358 yards, it's time for our second shot. We have a slightly heavy tailwind here. Again, our approach is gonna stay the same, rough bump approach with 3 bars of top spin and 2 bars of left spin. Ball guideline straight towards the cup. For 9.9, we adjust for minimum distance minus 10%. So here it was 7 rings. Perfect shot. Nice rough bump here, and you see we have a not so great camera angle, but that doesn't count because we made the albatross.
Albatross!
It's time for the final game, game number 6. Here I switch my driver from epoch to extra mile. We need a driver with max top spin and more power. In this case, it is extra mile level 8. Since we have a headwind here, 9.3 head crosswind, I go with full top spin and max right spin possible. And I adjust for maximum distance with 10% over adjustment. To compensate for the headwind, I go with full overpower possible and with a little right curl. A great hit towards right or left would be good because we have some room for error. We make a nice distance, 356 yards. For our second shot, we are going to go with the same approach, the rough bump approach. I'm sorry. Max left spin, 3 bars of top spin again. You can keep this on your notes. 3 top spin and 2 bars of left spin would be better. And if you have 3 bars of left spin, that is even better. So you would be nicely placed in between the rough. Here, minimum distance minus 10%. In case of 8.3, it was 5.8 rings. We hit a perfect shot again, perfect ball, nice rough bump. Now here we have a soothing camera angle, ball rolling towards the cup, hitting the pin for a nice albatross.